Yo, what's up, YouTube, man? What's up, YouTube? Like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. I'm just tapping in with y'all real quick, man. I got a quick download. So I gotta tap in with y'all. I just thought about something, man. And I thought about it, just more of a reason why it is more important to stay ready to physically and mentally. The reason why we gotta have a warrior mindset and build ourselves up, and you know what I'm saying, be willing to go there if we gotta go there. You know what I mean? We can't be weak. We gotta be powerful. We gotta say what we mean, you know what I'm saying, mean what we say. And we can't be intimidated. We gotta have the confidence to stand on business. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta have the confidence to stand on business. And that's why I say we gotta train ourselves mentally. You know what I'm saying? That's with certain affirmations that you say to yourself every day. Mantras. So you can say it over and over, because off the muscle you're gonna have a negative thought. And that'll make you question yourself. But at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna give you your crown. You really gotta crown yourself first. And another thing is, you gotta tell yourself, like, you gotta give yourself empowering words to say to yourself over and over. Sigh. Chill. You gotta give yourself empowering things to say over and over. And also, you gotta be willing to stand on that shit. Like, what I mean by that is, it's gonna be people out here that's going to hate that you believe in yourself, hate that you confident. You know what I mean? Like, it had been situations where I remember coming up, and I would be like, I would try to put even my buddies on to affirmations, like, hey man, we got to start saying this to each other over and over, man, so we can build up. Because I was reading a lot of like self-help books like Law of Success, Think and Grow Rich, you know what I mean? And I was trying to put my buddies on, and a lot of times, they would like laugh at me or dismiss it, you know what I mean? And at one point, I let that deter me from my destination, from what I was doing, because I'm like, damn, if my closest niggas don't understand, then it must doesn't make sense. It must be a, you know what I'm saying? It must be a fluke. I'm sorry, y'all. My son riding this broke ass scooter making all that noise. Let me go in here real fast. But yeah, I was thinking like it must be a fluke, or it must not be real, you know what I mean? So it made me second guess myself. And that's the worst thing you want to do, because just because one person doesn't understand what you going through or what you doing, it doesn't mean that it's not right. You feel what I mean? And you got to be able to literally stand on that shit. It have been times in different work environments where I would be, talking about my goals, which I feel like a lot of times, don't tell people your goals, just show them. Because a lot of times they don't want to see you doing it anyway. You feel me? They gonna just they don't want to see you doing it. It's really a lack of them having the confidence. It's really their self-esteem, and they're projecting it off on you. But at the end of the day, I've been in a situation where it has been niggas, be quiet, Bishop. It has been niggas that hate me. I'm talking about literally hate me, because I believe in myself. Because I'm like, yeah, man, I'm doing this. I'm working toward this. And these niggas would despise me. You feel me? Like, want to fight me. Get offended. You know what I mean? You would even have niggas that would envy you. A lot of these niggas didn't even know me, but still would feel some type of way because I believed in myself, and I was going, and you know what I mean? And you got to be willing to stand on that shit, man. Like, honestly, you got to be willing to fuck a nigga up if you got to. Because they're going to try to tell you can't do it. And I'm going to say stand on business. And I'm going to say, man, shit, if you got to, man, say, man, fuck you. I know what I'm going to do. I said what I'm going to do. This ain't for you. This ain't your journey. This ain't your destination. And you got to tell a nigga that. He might get mad. You might have to put pause on that nigga, man. Cause people hate people, man. People hate when you success, man. People hate if you got potential, man. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say, physically, you got to be ready, cause you might have to beat a nigga ass. You might have to do something to a nigga about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and also mentally, because you don't want to let the bullshit that's going on in their head affect what's going on in your head. That's why you gotta have your own affirmations, and you gotta believe in yourself to the point where you can't be deterred. You know what I'm saying? Just like that's with anything. That's even like with sales. If you want to talk about sales, you're gonna hear no all the time. Like, man, I get cussed out on the phone, or people calling me. Like the other day, I was on sales calls, and it got to the point where, man, they tried to flag my number as fraud. You get what I'm saying? And I was in the middle of a sales call. I had just made an offer to a property. Lady said no, and I'm getting ready to make some more calls, and they said my shit was fraud. Like, mentally, they kind of fucked with me, man. But you got to be strong enough and know what you're doing and believe in what you're doing, and keep doing it until it works. You got to keep doing it till it works. And it's going to be people that if they've never seen it or they're not doing it, they're going to tell you it does not work. They're going to try to make it feel like it don't work. I've been in situations where I've been around people and they've literally told me when I first started wholesaling, like, huh, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's illegal. Or, like, oh, you just talking. They don't even believe. They don't believe because it's not their vision. You know what I'm saying? And it's one thing about me. I got to learn to not take it so personal, because I gotta realize that it's just not their vision. But at the end of the day, that shit can mentally fuck with you if you let it. You know what I'm saying? It will mentally fuck with you if you let it, and you can't let it. And that's why mentally you got to be on point. Mentally, you can't let nothing deter you from what you doing, what you working towards, because that's all the time. And that's why affirmations are so important. That's why talking to yourself, empowering, positive thoughts is so important. You know what I'm saying? You had a positive thoughts, and then you work towards it every single day. That's why prayer is important. That's how prayer is. You're praying, you know what I'm saying? You focusing on what you want, and you praying, and you hoping that you praying, and you praying, and you praying, and then it come true. You know what I mean? That's just how the universe works. That's how God works. And you got to think of yourself as a God. You got to create your own reality. You know what I'm saying? They do say, if we made in His image, and we're children of God, what that make us? We got to be many gods, right? At least that's how I look at it. But at the end of the day, man, like, get your mind prepared, because you got to be able to stand on business. You got to be able to stand on business about what you doing, about what you got going on, because it's gonna be. Matter of fact, some of you all are gonna become so successful, man. There's gonna be people in your environment, they're gonna want you dead. They're gonna want to kill you. Look at a lot of the greats. Look at throughout history, a lot of the greats were killed, murdered. You get what I'm saying? And we can look at different examples all day. You can just go throughout history, and you gotta be willing to stand on that shit. You gotta be militant, man. Like, cause I be damned if I let if I just lay down, a motherfucker take me out, I'm not gonna just lay down. It ain't gonna be easy. I ain't gonna make it easy for him. So, and just remember, man, that's all I gotta say, man. And you know, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Remember, we doing this to transform the lives of the have-nots, man. We doing this transform the lives of the have-nots, man. I was just tapping in with you, man. But yeah, man, you gotta be mentally and physically prepared to stand on business at all times. At all times. Cause there's gonna be some folk that gonna try to knock you off. You feel me? But yeah, we doing this as we using this as a motivational force to transform the lives of the have-nots, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all be great today, be great tomorrow, man. And you know what I'm saying, let's get out here and let's get to it, man.